Welcome back to Lifestyle After 5. I am your host, Ali, back with my famous people, the people that I love, the aficionados, Patrick and Victoria. And
Hey y'all.
Patrick is going to tell us all about his adventure. He took a little trip to Colorado where he went to this event called the Connoisseur Passport. I can't wait to hear all about this. And you too. Stay tuned because you don't want to miss this. This is a great learning opportunity and an adventure that goes to show you that cigar smoking goes beyond just sitting in a cigar bar. It's a whole community. It's a lifestyle. And Patrick is going to break it down for us. What's going on, Patrick? Victoria, good to see you all.
What's going on? It's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
We are. It's been a lot of transitions over the few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Lifestyle After 5, we are officially in Texas now.
Mm-hmm. Texas.
Texas. So look forward to seeing me smoking with a cowboy hat on pretty soon. I already got my boots my boots came yesterday. I just need the belt buckle and the hat.
There you go. Official Texan right there.
hmm
Oh yeah, I gotta get it. Tell us. Well, first of all, let's explain what is the connoisseur passport.
well, it's actually the Rocky Mountain Cigar Festival. I called it the Connoisseur Passport because there's so many different festivals that happen throughout not only the U.S. but internationally as well. But he was lucky enough to have a little boys' weekend in Denver, uh, first time out at the
Right.
Rocky Mountain Cigar Festival. So I'll let him tell you because I didn't make it on this trip.
So first of all, the Rocky Mountain, Cigar Festival, it's held once a year. It's in Denver, Colorado. And it's a huge, huge event. You know, vendors from all over, the US, all over the world, um, representing all different brands. Just and not only cigars, there's alcohol, alcohol brands that are coming up. There's, just accessories that are coming out, just a whole bunch of people that's, come together to enjoy cigars and the lifestyle.
It goes with that pairing that we talked about a few episodes ago.
Mhm.
Yes.
You gotta have the right pairing of alcohol with your cigar.
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure you've been to a lot of cigar festivals.
I've been to a
What
couple. I've been to a couple. Yeah, we have.
So, what was your impression when you arrived at the Rocky Mountain Cigar Festival?
Okay, so I arrived in Denver on Friday, but this is a whole weekend event. It starts on Thursday. They start pre-partying on Thursday. I mean, I wasn't there on Thursday, but actually Cigar Dojo and Asylum actually came out with a cigar, and it debuted Thursday night at one of the parties they were having, the pre parties. So it's a whole weekend that goes on, pre-party, after party, the whole cigar festival. But getting there, my initial thoughts was, I mean, the hotel was huge. I saw the layout the day before because I went to the pre-party, but the day of, it was kind of overwhelming because it's like you have 30, 40 vendors, you have cigars everywhere, and you just want to run to every single one and see what kind of deals they have going on or what kind of exclusives they have. So I mean, it can be overwhelming, but you go there with a plan. I think you'll be okay.
But I'm excited because it's something that I would love to experience. And I'm pretty sure our guests and the people watching would love to experience this too. But lucky for you all, Patrick took his camera. So we are. Stay tuned to Lifestyle After 5 on YouTube or go to our website because we're going to drop the video where Patrick is going to share his adventure live. He brought his camera. You got to love Patrick.
Yeah, I can't leave out the people. It was an amazing experience.
What would you say was the overall vibe compared to the other cigar lounges or even the events you have been to?
So with the festival itself, I mean, it's more. I can't say it's one, like, hey, it's laid back because there is partying that's going on. There's drinking, but there's also socializing, networking. So I think all around, it's just one big social bubble, I guess you can call it, because it's not only like you can network. Like I met a whole bunch of, people who actually own the cigar companies and people who are actually hand rolling cigars, all the way to people who own local bars and cigar lounges there in Denver, even throughout the country. So it's not only about enjoying cigars, but the vibe was real, like camaraderie. There wasn't one person trying to outdo the other person. Everybody was there to enjoy cigars or with somebody who enjoyed cigars. Some people weren't smoking, they were wanting to drink, whatever the case may be. But it was a great vibe. There wasn't anything bad that went on. It was a little hot for a little bit, but Denver, Texas, anywhere the sun comes out, it's going to be a little hot. But other than that, I mean, it was a great experience, a great vibe, and definitely would go back.
I can't wait till we drop this video. Now, would you say it is family friendly?
Family friendly. Anybody that's obviously anybody under 21 can't go. So I mean, but if you have a family,
I'm pretty sure there's some spouse or something that's going, oh, that just sounds like a bunch of guys hanging out with cigars, and I don't know if this would be a great trip for a couple, or maybe there's some husband trying to convince his girlfriend or spouse that, hey, we hadn't gotten out in a while, let's go to a cigar festival, particularly this one in Colorado.
Yeah. And there was plenty of married couples there. I met a couple, at the pre-party. I met some during, and some of the females didn't smoke, and that was completely fine. They were there, letting their husbands do their thing, or they were interacting and being social with people too. So yes, it is very family friendly. I did see, a couple of father and son, duos there. So it's not only, the females, but I mean, yes, it can be a whole family thing, if everybody enjoys that. But definitely family friendly. There was live music, like I said, food, good vibe. Anybody was welcome, and that's what it felt like. Everybody was welcome. Welcomed with open arms.
That's good, and like I said, you can't discount the networking event, the networking part of it. You mean some high-profile people that have a lot of connections.
Yes, definitely.
What was the most memorable cigar that you tried at the festival?
So I had a honeybee cigar. It was, their barber pole. I'm kind of, like a barber pole fan right now, I guess you can say. But it was the first one that I did light up there. It's a great smooth cigar. It was amazing. But at the pre-party, one of my friends, who invited me out there, did give me a year of the snake, Liga Privada, where it's an exclusive only in the Southern Asia, and it's this Pacific, in that area. So he actually had a box. He gave me one, and I had one, and it was an excellent cigar. It was a great smoke, definitely top tier on mine, maybe top 5, maybe top 3. But during the festival, yes, honeybee. I rocked honeybee because 2 or 3 of their cigars. It was great, even though they weren't there. I still rocking them because their line is actually pretty rock steady.
Now I don't know if I would have smoked the year of the snake. I think that would have came home with me.
I mean, I was gonna hold on to it, but I learned long ago. You know what? Why are we gonna hold on to things? If you don't smoke it and you leave this earth, somebody's gonna smoke it for you. And I want to enjoy the good things while I'm here. So I said, what, screw it. I just lit it up, and it was an amazing cigar.
Did you get any video footage of it?
No, I just got pictures of it because it was, I didn't get any video of it. But that was, It was my first time kind of out and about with the glasses. So I had to kind of it was more open the next day where, like the pre-party was more of a private kind of event. But yeah, I did get some video of the pre-party, but it wasn't like everything like I did with the festival itself.
And I heard, did we get to see things through your meta glasses?
Yes. Yeah, so that's where I recorded most of the, the footage
all the
footage of the festival itself. I was actually on a live call with some of my Australian friends. They were, they wanted to experience it as well. So, we kind of had a video call going on, and It was just a great vibe. Some people don't ever get to experience this, and I'm just glad that I was able to share it to some people, because some people can't make it to Denver. They're not that lucky, or just whatever the situation may be.
I've never been to Denver.
It's amazing. The weather, waking up at 64 degrees, hey, I'll take that waking up over 85 degrees any day. So, it was
Nice.
good. Yeah.
Did you discover any new brands that really surprised you?
So there were a couple of brands out there that were different, new. Sanj Patel was there. They were debuting their line of cigars. They just came out. They had 3 of them there. I got a couple each. I haven't lit them up, so I can't say if I like them or not. I'm pretty sure I will. But I met the owner, the guy who runs the business. He's a great gentleman, and he was just kind of giving you insight of his view on the cigar industry. And so it was really good. There was a couple other ones there. La Gloria, Galleria. There was also one person who was rolling fresh cigars himself. He's been rolling for 18 years. I got a couple of his cigars, and it was great. They were great cigars. Any hand rolled cigar, is a great cigar. So yes, there was a lot of brands out there. There were a lot of brands that you can see every day, but there were a couple new brands out there that were just popping up too.
Did you happen to see the pork tenderloin out there?
No, unfortunately, the pork tenderloin has sold out in most of the places. You can probably find onesies or twosies, but those usually go really fast. And yeah, once they're gone, it's gone. But
I was out
unfortunately, we have a couple left. So maybe if we can connect, I can give you one of those so you can share or try it out and kind of share your experience with it.
I thought I went to a cigar shop. Was it last week before last? And I said, "You got any pork tenderloins?" He's like, "I may have 1 or 2 in the back." And I was like, "I'll take it." And so he put it in the back, and of course he's like, "Nah, it's sold out." I thought I had a loose one, but he's like, "You're late. You gotta act fast." So then I'm new to the game, so I came into the game late.
No, I mean it's not really coming into it late, because you're still getting into it. So there's a lot of things I missed along the way before, and sometimes you get a chance to get a hold of it, try it out. Some things you're never going to experience.
Yeah, but that's what's great about the cigar community is if you find somebody who's into it, there's a lot of trading going on. There's like hey, I'll give you this one down the line. You can give me something else that I want, or whatever the case may be. So you still have the opportunity to try things that you may have missed.
Yes.
Now, I know we had our top 5 that we displayed here, that from light to strong. Did you see any of that conversations or any conferences on that while you were at the festival, where they were comparing the different cigars from a lightweight, medium weight to a strong?
Oh yeah, definitely. With a lot of these, vendors that were out there, they had the reps that were out there, and they actually explained a lot of their cigars. They'd come up and be like, "Hey, this is a Connecticut wrapper. It's more of a medium." They would explain the cigar to you and kind of not necessarily give you the notes to it, but more be like, "Hey, this is a kind of a starter cigar. It's a little bit lighter. You may experience this with it, but they don't put it in their head, But then they go all the way up to the hardcore, the really strong cigars where, it's gonna be pepper blasting you and just full of nicotine and stuff like that. So yes, there was those conversations even between the people, like, "Oh well, I like this cigar," or "I haven't tried this cigar. What do you think about it?" And where we were, luckily I got VIP, so we had seats. We had seats under a tent. So within the tables, we were all talking about cigars. Kind of bringing up, "Hey, I've smoked this cigar. What did you think about it?" And so it's just a camaraderie, just bringing it up. But yes, there was talks about it. You could even ask like the vendors and all that, and they would, this is our lightest cigar all the way to the end, where this is our more heavier cigar. Or, we have the flavored cigars if you're not into that. We have more of a medium or a full body cigar. So anything and everything in between, it was all there.
And Patrick Victoria, you are becoming the true aficionados. I was in Charlotte last week or week for last. I mean, all my time is running together. And some of the movers was coming in and they were packing up my home. And one of the movers walked in my closet and he seen the Lifestyle After 5 sweatshirt I had hanging up in the closet. And he looked for a while and he said, "That looks familiar. I've seen that somewhere like on TV." So I'm like, "Oh, really?" So like, you must watch the Lifestyle After 5 podcast. He's like, "I think so. I think I've seen that somewhere or whatever." It's like, if you're familiar with that, then you know me. And he walked around for a little while and he's like, "Wait, y'all were talking about some expensive cigars the other day, wasn't you?" I was like, "Yeah." So it was a shock for me. You going global. You are the man. That's why you out there in Colorado and VIP.
That's
And now,
awesome.
Yeah.
yeah, it was a shock. It was funny. Just the look on his face because he's really trying to think, where did he see this at? So if you're watching today, shout out to you. I didn't get his name, but shout out. Stay safe out there. Now, how would you describe the crowd? Was it mostly seasoned aficionados, newcomers, or a mix?
Honestly, it was a good mix of everything because within our group that we were sitting with, there was actually somebody who's just starting off in cigars, like brand new to cigar, maybe a couple weeks, couple months into it, and there was people who've been doing it for 20 plus years. So not within only our group, but it was everywhere. Like you see people like, well, I've never really smoked this brand before, or like him kind of starting off. And I had a couple of people ask me, "Hey, what are you smoking?" And I would tell them like, "Hey, this is my honeybee cigar. It's more of a medium. If you're looking for lighter, they have this and that." Even though they weren't there, I still kind of was repping the brand because that was my thing at the moment. But just you go. So just I mean, it was everywhere. Like you had like people who were beginning, people who didn't smoke, who were trying it because they did have the flavored cigars out there. For the people who were I only smoke flavored cigars, or I'm starting off. They had that all the way up to the seasoned ones, and you had people who came in with suitcases or buggies, wagons full of cigars.
He left like that.
I only had 4 bagfuls of cigars. It's not too bad.
How was that getting through TSA?
Oh, let me tell you, it's not a easy thing.
Adventure.
Yeah. So I had to take an extra suitcase just for it because I knew it was going to happen. I did end up getting one of my lighters taken away, but hey, it's a learning experience. I've never really traveled with the cigars, but the cigars weren't an issue. It was the lighters and the cutters, and it was perfectly fine with the amount of cigars I brought home, or
You had to check that. You couldn't bring that through your carry-on, correct?
So you can take on carry-on, you can take the cutter, and you can take a regular soft flame lighter.
Not a torch.
Yeah, not a torch, but mine was an electric soft flame lighter. So they said it's a plasma, you can't do it. So they took it away, which is fine. I kind of figured that would happen. So I was like, it was a cheapie.
Could you put it in your check luggage?
You can definitely. They were like, well, you can check it in. And I was like, I'm not going to go back down there and try to open my 60-pound suitcase to throw a lighter in there. Just chunk it because it's $15 isn't going to kill me. It's not worth the hassle. So I was like, no, it's fine. They probably kept it to use itself because it's a pretty damn cool lighter. But it's all right. It's all right. It's one of those learning experiences. Now I know because I did get lighters. I got swag with all the cigars I bought. So everything.
That's my favorite part of any cigar festival is the swag. So you go, the more you buy, the more swag you get. And so I personally love Drew Estate, my favorite brand. Actually, the shirt I'm wearing now is a Rocky Mountain Festival shirt that he brought me. I got some hats. I got some stickers.
Yeah.
Now, was there any memorable conversations you had or connections you made that stood out?
So there was a couple. So the pre-party, I did meet Pedro. He is from Drew Estate. He's one of the ones that helped, the Undercrown 10 cigar. He's real big. He's a really good gentleman. He did a he cut and lit a cigar for me. It should be part of the video.
That's in the video.
It's one of the videos that I sent over. But also I met the owner of West Tampa Cigar Company. We were just, chopping it up, and that's also in the videos. We're chopping up, saying, what he's done, how long he's been doing it. He only made West Tampa about 3 years ago, and it's actually it's a fantastic brand. You get a chance to check it out. We're talking about one of his cigars that just came out, and it's sold out really fast. Also,
Island
Jim was there. We met him in Texas, but he was there again. That Island Jim is a cool dude. He's laid back. If you ever see one of his cigars, it's exactly who that guy is. Beard, straw hat, just looks like Big Lebowski. It's one of those things. And then one of the most memorable ones is Hoot and Young. This is a veteran-owned company. I met the owner. He was, really awesome. Kind of explained, his cigars and his whiskey pairings. They actually have a whiskey pairing guide with their cigars, and they sell the complete kits. It's called Hoot and Young. We were also talking about they name their cigars after operations that go on in the field. So the latest one that they made was called Midnight Hammer. It was a limited edition cigar. The wrapper is actually the B-52 Bomber.
Which one of my favorites.
Yeah, it was a real limited run. We were talking about it. It sold out within a couple weeks. They were telling us. So even the rep didn't even get to try it. That's how fast it sold out. But wow. It's a great all around, because some of the blenders themselves, some of the owners are there, and just getting their experience from, or getting their perspective, what they see. It's an amazing experience, because not everyone's the same, and it's just cultivating.
Now, you talk about you saw some newcomers there. For the newbie that's never been to a festival, or hell, barely been to a cigar bar, would you say that the festival changes the experience or the culture, compared to just smoking at home or going to a lounge?
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
It makes it more addicting.
It's like going to a concert of your favorite artist.
Yeah.
Granted, the one that I went to was a much smaller version of the Rocky Mountain, but I don't know, it brings it more alive.
Yeah.
Like I can't find the words. Like, it just makes it more real, and you realize how big of a culture and community it is.
Yes, definitely.
I can imagine. I have never been to a cigar festival, but that is my goal for 2026 and possibly the end of 2025, is to make it to a cigar festival and to experience that type of atmosphere, and to be able to ask the questions and to meet with other aficionados and professionals, and have that professional grown folks conversation and learn a few.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely what I'm looking forward to. Now, you were talking about swag.
Mm-hmm.
And t-shirt. What was some of the best swag you've seen?
Okay, so hands down, Drew Estate has the best swag. Drew Estate, and they don't sell their stuff, like their swag. You have to buy it. You only get their swag through ordering their stuff, so that's why they have the best. Mm-hmm. I know they had a sale kind of going on over there where you buy, I think it was like 60 cigars. You get an ashtray, 2 lighters, a hat, a carry case, couple cutters, and it's not cheap stuff. It's really well made stuff. But yeah, like that's probably my favorite stuff.
Where's my case? Go ahead. I got it. Yeah. I have him get me all the Drew Estate stuff just because it's my favorite brand, and they do have the best swag.
Okay. And I would say that Drew Estate is probably a great beginner brand with the fat bottom Betty.
But yeah, this is like so.
Oh wow! Okay.
And it's a travel case. It holds 5 cigars, and it came with the package that we got. And see, going we went with some people and we broke it up. So not where one person had to buy all 60 cigars. We kind of broke it up. So one person bought one box, one person bought one box, another person bought one box, and we split the swag. So that's a little tip. If you're gonna go, don't go by yourself, or have somebody up there where you can split stuff. Makes it way easier, and you won't regret buying a box if you don't like it. You know, like, all right, I only have 10 cigars of it. But other swag, this one was a little different. The swag was more like lighters, cutters, and you had to buy a little bit more here compared to the Texas Cigar Festival. But here it was tax free, so you had that opportunity to buy, more cigars. But they did have a lot of great swag. I mean, I can't complain. I got stickers. I got 3 ashtrays. One of the new Cohiba, the Cohiba Rubicon was out there. You buy a box, you got a lighter and an ashtray. I mean, how can you beat that? Like, it was a great experience. Some people had better swag than others. Some people gave more than others, and sometimes you go for the swag, and sometimes you don't. Like, it just really depends on what you're looking for. But hands down, Drew Estate has the best swag.
Great. Paul Buckley says hi.
What's
Hey,
up,
Paul.
Paul? It was his birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday.
So
Birthday,
happy
Paul.
birthday.
So aside from the cigars, was there anything else that stood out? Maybe the food, the drinks, the music, the overall setting, the scenery, the mountains, maybe?
Some good music. Was it the pre-party where you met
Yeah,
the DJ?
the pre-party. Well, he was there too. During
at the
he was there.
festival?
So they had a DJ going, in the VIP booth. They had, a live band going on. It was great. The food was, it's basic. You get VIP, you have your own food. That's the only food that they had there that you can go buy a ticket. But hot dogs, hamburgers, the basic stuff, which is fine. But the alcohol was there. They had brands that are brand new that are out there, giving out samples. With the tickets, you also had like 3 or 4 drink tickets. Try some new brandy, some new whiskey, some new wine. So it's all there. So what stood out the most was like the different alcohol vendors, because it not only was whiskey, but it was also new seltzers that they had that were coming out, or new mixers that they had that were coming out. That was really awesome, kind of to experience, and just to try something new while smoking a cigar. It was totally different experience. I couldn't complain. So it was really good.
Now, for the newbie or a person like me that's got to prepare a little bit, and what budget should I prepare for this? Everybody can't be VIP. So what is the initial investment one should be prepared for?
Okay, so here's the thing. So with a VIP, and this what makes kind of the tickets worth it, right? There's 3 levels of tickets. You got like your executive VIP, you got your VIP, and you got your general admission. You're going to get you get swag with your ticket. So with like the executive VIP, not only did you get like 120 cigars, you got a case, backpack, cutters, worth more than the ticket. Now with the regular VIP, like what I got, it came with 80 cigars. 80 cigars was worth the ticket price. So if you can budget to VIP, go for it, because then you might not need to buy too much at the thing. But you also got to remember, with VIP, you get in an hour early, so you can get the deals before everybody else gets it. Because once general admission gets in there, it's literally like quick. So you got to get in there and find the deals.
I think he told me it was already almost sold out. He was like, almost all the booths are sold out, and there's still like 2 hours of the festival.
By 4 o'clock, most of the cigar vendors were sold out. So that's how fast some of them go. But if you're on a budget, general admission, you're still going to get, I believe it's like 40 to 60 cigars, which is perfectly fine. It's a lot of cigars.
That is.
It's a lot of cigars. So you're spending that money on the ticket. You get a meal ticket, you get drink tickets. But if you're just going, you know what you want, and you're trying to budget, a range about maybe $150 to $200 a box of cigars. Okay. This one, you were lucky to get 5. They had 5 packs. singles, and boxes. Some of them don't have that, so some of them you have to buy boxes. So if you're going into it, always think that I got to buy a box. So hey, you know what? I want to try to buy 3 boxes, so save up for $600. And you know what? If they have singles or 5 packs when you go in there, even better, because you can buy different variety with the amount that you already had for boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can go in there and not have a budget, and you might not find anything you like, but you're probably going to end up blowing a lot of money, which is perfectly fine too. You have to learn, right? You have to learn. And
This is why we're teaching you. We saving you and teaching you the hard lesson before you get there. We don't want you getting there and can't have fun because now you're window shopping because you thought you could buy a $15. You only got $25 in your pocket and think you could buy one. It's like no, you got to come with 150 for a whole box, and now you.
See, that's the beauty of it, right? You already get the cigars with the package. So if you're just going there for the experience and festivals, hey, that's perfectly fine. You don't need to buy nothing. You already bought a ticket in there. You're getting swag. You still get free stuff. It's just if you're looking for certain deals or certain cigar that they're gonna have, then yes, just plan on it. I say if you're gonna budget, I say between $500 to $1,000. Just so you have enough to be like, holy crap, I like that deal. How much is it? It's only $150. Boom. Like I had a budget, and like the Cohiba box. I bought a box of Cohibas, the new ones that came out. Usually they run $250 on the internet. Got it for $120. Boom. There you go. And see, that's how quick it is. They'll get you with the deals, and at the end of the day, they still have cigars. Guess what? They're going to drop the prices even more. So you can wait till the end, but you also have that risk of not getting nothing. So
if you could sum the Rocky Mountain Cigar Festival up in one word, what would it be?
Memorable. Like memorable because I, networked. I made some new friends. I met a lot of people. I bought cigars. It was just a memorable experience. It's amazing. At least once in your lifetime, you got to try. Even if it's not there's multiple around, the USA and the world. So it's not just in the US. So I'd say definitely get to try one out.
Speaking of that, this is a big question. If you could only attend one cigar festival in the world, would it be this one or would it be another one on your cigar bucket list?
So there's one. It's a week long, and it's in the Dominican Republic. It's called the ProCigar Festival.
What I was gonna say.
It's a week long. Literally, all the factories are down there. You get a tour them with your ticket. You get food.
It's literally from soil to stick.
Yeah.
Like you go through that whole process at this festival.
Yeah.
And then you're in the DR. Come on.
Yeah, it's a party. I mean, it's a week long too. So I mean, if I can do a cigar festival a week long, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
And when does it usually occur?
It happens in April. Usually in the middle of April, because that's right before their like wet season. But yeah, the ProCigar Festival, it's in the Dominican. I've heard it's amazing.
Great.
I've never been. Now, if I had to say one in the States, it would have to be like the Big Smoke out in Las Vegas, because that's also another one where they,
go all out.
They go all out. They kind of bring in the new cigars. They kind of, showcase a lot of things out there.
Which both of those are on my list in the newsletter. So you got to go read the newsletter, put the links in there, and you can read up about both of those festivals.
Wow. Lord Shu, we got to make this Dominican Cigar Festival next year, 2026. We got to do it.
It needs to be a group experience.
Yeah. We got to make this a group experience. I'm close to you guys now. Oh, yeah, we got to make this happen.
Oh, yeah.
I'm totally down with it.
Well, I want to thank you, Victoria and Patrick, for giving us this insider look into the Rocky Mountain Cigar Festival. For everyone listening, stay tuned. The video is dropping, so you're going to get to experience it, and we're going to get to see just exactly what Patrick eyes are seeing. Of course, check us out on our website, www.aliafter5.com. You should be able to see it below me, depending on the device that you are watching. As always, you can also check out our swag. Get your Lifestyle After 5 shirt It's beginning to be very known and recognized. If you ain't smoking with this on, I don't know what you're doing. But until next time, thanks, and we'll be back again next week with some more knowledge and video.